There are three thieves who, as one final job together, plan on robbing a sacred tomb. Locals warn them that any who attempt to steal from the tomb will be cursed and great danger will befall them, but they decide to go through with it anyway. They choose to go one at a time just in case there really is any danger. The first man enters the tomb, he grabs as much as he can carry and sprints out. As he's leaving, he passes by a giant coffin and he hears a booming voice say, "If you dare to rob this sacred tomb, a great curse shall befall you. You shall die by fire." He's a little spooked, but he escapes the tomb unscathed with his riches. The second man enters the tomb, grabs as much as he can carry, and sprints out. As he's leaving, he passes by the same coffin, and he hears a booming voice say, "If you dare to rob this sacred tomb, a great curse shall befall you. You shall die by water." He's kind of freaked out, but he knows that the first guy survived, and he too escapes the tomb unharmed, with more wealth than he could ever imagine. The third guy enters the tomb, grabs as much as he can carry and sprints out. As he's leaving, he too passes the large sarcophagus and hears the voice say, "If you dare to rob this sacred tomb, a great curse shall befall you. You shall die by plague." At this point, he's not scared because he knows they've all managed to escape unharmed, so he just walks out of the tomb, his arms full of the spoils of his plunder. The three thieves part ways and go on to live lavish, pleasant lives using the treasure that they had stolen to get rich. Each man had more than he could ever want, and each was in fantastic health for many years following their tomb robbing. But 20 years later, the thieves have all but forgotten the words that echoed from the tomb that fateful day. The first thief was enjoying a bonfire with his friends at a Florida beach house. After a night of drinking, everybody was drowsy or passed out completely. The man stood up to go inside, tripped over one of his friends and fell headfirst into the fire pit. He suffered horrible burns all over his body and died as a result of his injuries. The story made headlines, and after a while word got back to the other two thieves that their old friend had perished. Both of them had a vague memory, something about a curse and dying by fire, but it didn't take long for them to forget their friend and continue about their own lavish lives. The second thief was celebrating his birthday with his friends and family at an extravagant party on his private island. Not that island. As night fell, he and a few of his friends decided to go down to the shore and go night swimming. They were a bit intoxicated and there was a bit of storm brewing, but they didn't really care. After swimming for a while, the man got swept out to sea. He's not a strong swimmer and his friends can't see him, and he ends up drowning. The third thief catches wind of this and starts to panic. Dying by fire, dying by water. Will he truly die by plague, as was foretold in the sacred tomb? He starts to put the remainder of his wealth into his health. He visits a different specialist every week. He spends money on diets and workout programs and does whatever he can to ensure that he stays healthy. However, after several months, a mysterious illness befalls him. Doctors can't figure it out no matter how many tests they run. He's confined to a hospital bed for weeks on end, as he's too weak to even stand and walk. However, he doesn't come any closer to dying, and he starts to regain hope that maybe he's beaten the curse. His health begins to improve, and soon he has enough strength to sit up in bed and eat on his own. He doesn't have any visitors, because as soon as the money dried up, his friends did too. But one day, a nurse tells him that he does have a visitor. He's surprised, but excited, and tells the nurse to send them in. She leaves, and soon he hears someone coming down the hallway. Except It doesn't sound like footsteps. It's more like an awful, clunky, dragging sound, as if someone's struggling to push a heavy object down the hall. He hears screams outside his closed door and begins to panic as the noise gets closer. 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 He's still not strong enough to get out of bed, much less escape. He starts looking around him for something to defend himself with. The only things on his side table is a lamp, some magazines, a glass of water, a book he'd been reading, and some throat lozenges. Cough drops, as he had had a nasty cough. And suddenly the door swings open. Staring the final thief in the face is the sarcophagus from the tomb. A voice booms out, "You have attempted to avoid the curse, but death waits for no man." The coffin then begins inching towards him. It flings open, revealing emptiness inside, and the thief knows if he can't escape, he'll be trapped in that coffin and die. In a last-ditch effort to defend himself, he starts throwing whatever he can reach at the sarcophagus. He chucks the lamp at it as hard as he can, but it keeps coming towards him. Then he throws the book, to no avail. The glass of water, nothing. The magazine, useless. Finally, all that's left are the cough drops. The man all but resigns himself to his fate, but he picks up the lozenges, closes his eyes, and hurls a cough drop. And the moment the cough drop hits it, the coffin stops.